Hello and welcome, my dear students, to my channel Mathematics Made Easy. This is Ms. Ruchika welcoming you to today's session. Today's session we are covering Integrated 3 Module 7 Rational Functions. This video is specially made for Grade 10 Elite Math students, and the lesson that we are covering today is Module 7 Lesson 1 Multiplying and Dividing Rational Expressions. So it's a very interesting, very important lesson where the learning objectives for today's session would be to simplify rational expressions and to simplify rational expressions by multiplying and dividing. So let's get into the video and see what we are learning today. And before we do that, a humble request, a kind reminder, if you've been liking my videos and my content, do subscribe to the channel as it works as a motivation for me to create more videos for you. And now let's dive into today's session. So before we get to simplify rational expression, which is our learning objective for today, I want you to recall what is a rational expression. So just to make it more easy for you and to simplify for you, rational means whenever you have a numerator and a denominator. Just recall the simple definition of a rational function, and from there we'll take it on to a rational expression. So rational number is specifically of the form P by Q, where P in the top is a numerator which is divided by a denominator. Very, very simple. And this rational number has a condition: the denominator has to be not zero, so that for this rational number to be well defined. So this was a simple rational number. If you recall from your lower classes, an example would be 1 divided by 5, 2 over minus 7, 3 over 8, and so on. So these have numerator, denominator. These were your rational numbers. Now when we extend that rational concept to an expression, what happens? Because we have an expression now, we are going to have a variable. So our common variable is x. So that means you have a numerator, you have a denominator involving x. So something like this, let me give you an example: x square minus 2x minus 24. So I've taken here a rational expression. This is the numerator. I'm also going to similarly take a denominator. So here it is 2x cube plus 3x square minus 8x. So just one example I've taken. So if I ask you what is the numerator here, your answer would be this. If I ask you what is the denominator here, the answer would be this. Now this lesson talks about simplifying a rational expression. So as you see right now, it is very complicated. It has three terms. These are trinomials, but definitely if you simplify it further, you can reduce the same question to a much simpler one. And again, just like your concept of a rational number, this rational expression will be well defined if the denominator, that means 2x cubed plus 6x squared minus 8x, is not 0, or in case if I put the question differently, what values of x is this above rational expression undefined, means it is not defined. If I ask you this question, then what should come to your mind? The denominator, of course. So you will look at 2x cubed plus 3x squared minus 8x. You'll try to simplify, you'll try to factorize it and get those values of x where it is becoming 0. So let me just simplify it for you. As you see, if you take the common value, then 2x is common throughout. So you take 2x out, you are left with x squared plus 3x minus 4. Okay, now at what point is this becoming 0? That's our question. So let's simplify it a little bit more. X squared plus 3x minus 4. This can be factorized in the form of x. So we need two numbers. Let's go back to middle term splitting. I hope you recall. So we need two numbers a and b such that the sum is the middle term, which is 3, and the product is the last term, which is minus 4. So what can be those two numbers? Think about it, and I'm sure you'll agree that it will be x plus 4, x minus 1 here. Value of x at which it is becoming 0, if you apply the zero product property, 2x equal to 0, x plus 4 equal to 0, each of the factor equal to 0 basically. So what are the three values? The three values 1, 2, 3, where it is becoming 0 is x equal to 0, x equal to minus 4 and x equal to 1. So that is one part of the question which can be asked from you, that a rational expression like this is given to you and it is asked what values of x is this rational expression undefined. So whenever you see the word undefined or it is asked when is it well defined, you always go to the denominator, try to simplify, try to factor it, get your values of x from there, and these are the three values where it is becoming undefined. That answers part 1 of the question. Let's go to the next slide and simplify this. Okay, so now comes the question. The same expression I'm writing, x square minus 2x minus 24 in the numerator divided by 2x cube plus 3x square minus 8x. So in part A of the question, it was asked, so there are two parts to this question. In part A, what values of x is this undefined? So we have already completed that in the last slide. So we've got three values of x. One was x equal to 0, another was x equal to minus 4 and x equal to 1. So these three values, it was undefined. Now in part 2 of the question or part B of the question, you have to simplify the above rational expression, and that is what is our learning goal, that is our learning objective. So let's see how we do that. So the denominator, if you remember, we had actually simplified it and we had written it as 2x multiplied with x plus 4 and x minus 1. That was the prime factorization. That was the factorization of the denominator. Now similarly, we need to factor the numerator, as there will be some factors common which will be cancelling. So when I have to do the middle term splitting of x square minus 2x minus 24 for this one. Okay, so let's do it. So we need two numbers a and b such that their sum is minus 2 and their product is minus 24. So what can be those two numbers? Think a little bit. So we need factors of this. So let's take 6 and 4. Okay, and I need to decide for sign. So that means I need to take minus 6 and plus 4. Yes, that will work. So let's do the prime factorization. So 4x, let's change the sign. Okay, so this has to be plus minus 24. Now I'm taking common factor from here, x minus 6. Similarly from here, x minus 6. We're left with 4. So the factorization is x plus 4, x minus 6. So now I go here, come back and put the factors. And let's see what magic is going to happen now. We had to simplify this, and I'm sure you all can observe there's one factor which is common. So it will cancel out and it will simplify the question as x minus 6 over 2x this. Now this final answer, the simplified answer that you have got, is much simpler form than this one, and that is how you are going to do the simplification. So remember, the key rule is to factor the numerator, factor the denominator. So middle term splitting is a skill you need to master if you have not done till now, so that helping to choose the factor becomes easy to you. Let's take some more examples. Okay, so we have a similar question here. This time I've given you a multiple choice. So I want you to think and solve very clearly, just like the previous question. So here you have a rational expression. Numerator is this, denominator is this. So you need to do the both things. First, you need to say when the original expression is undefined. So we are going to go to the denominator very shortly, and then you have to simplify and select the simplified form. So let's take the denominator first. X square minus 5x minus 66. Let's see what point it is becoming 0 so that we know when the expression is undefined. So again, we'll go to middle term splitting. We need two numbers, which when added gives you the middle term, and which when multiplied gives you the last term. That means we need factors of minus 66. So very simply we can get factors as 11 and 6, and yes, if I take negative 11 and plus 6 and I add them, what I'm getting is negative 5. So looks like a good option. Let's take it. So I'm now breaking the middle term into this way. Let's factor, take common factors. So x minus 11, 6 is common, x minus 11 equal to 0. So x plus 6 and x minus 11 are the two factors. So from here we apply 0 product property, which says if product of two things is 0, each of them is going to be individually 0. So when I make them 0, x equal to minus 6 and x equal to 11. These are my two values where the denominator is becoming 0. So the original expression is undefined at these two values. Okay, so that was part A. Now let's look at part B. So here I have to now factor the numerator. Denominator is already factored. So for factoring x square minus 36, which is a perfect square, I'm going to use a little bit of algebra here. So a plus b, a minus b, that's the factorization. So what did I use? I used the algebraic identity difference of squares. So if there is a difference of square, this is a plus b times a minus b. So I can just plug in the values now here and cancel the common term in numerator denominator. So I divide this with x plus 6 times x minus 11. So very well, you can see this term is common, it will cancel out. So the only correct simplification would be these two values. So what's your answer? A, B, C, D? And yes, you're correct. It is C. This is the way you solve the question and apply the zero product property. So a very important skill which is useful for solving such questions is factorization. Please practice more questions and view my old videos. I will put the link in the description box so that you master the skill of factorization and middle term splitting. Okay, let's also master another skill which is on simplification of fractional expression using the -1 technique. Now, what is this technique? I will teach you. So for this, the same process you are going to apply. You are going to look at the numerator, you are going to look at the denominator, and you are going to factor them, so that there is some term which is common and cancels. Now, if you look at the denominator carefully, your job is easy. The denominator is already factorized. So one factor is y minus 2x. The second factor is 4 plus x. So you need not do anything to the denominator for factorization. What about the numerator? Let's focus on numerator. It is 4x square minus y square. Now both of them are perfect squares, so I can easily write them in this way. And if you see, this is difference of squares, so this will be a plus b and a minus b. So which identity did I use? Let me write here big and bold. A square minus b square is a plus b, a minus b. So now you have factored your numerator. Let's simplify. So your answer comes out to be 2x plus y in the numerator, 2x minus y, and in the denominator it is y minus 2x and 4 plus x. Now if you look at the terms carefully, till now there is no common factor, nothing is cancelling. But if you look at these two terms carefully, then there is a difference of just a negative sign. That means you can rewrite your denominator or your numerator in the same factor by taking out a -1 common. So how I'm going to do it? Just watch carefully. In the numerator, I'm going to write the same factor, y minus 2x, and just take a -1 outside. So I've changed the sign, everything else is same. Okay, so if you now look carefully, This has made your life easy because it is going to cancel and simplify. So it has helped you to simplify the -1 technique. So what is the answer left? A negative 2x plus y over 4 plus x. Now, if you look at the options carefully, no option right now is matching. However, if you take this negative sign in denominator also, it will not change the answer. Means what? If in the denominator I would have taken 2x minus y and taken a negative sign, it is one and the same thing. So I will try to change my option now by taking this negative in the denominator to make it -4 minus x. And now this is matching the option number C, which is the correct answer. I hope you know that the addition and subtraction is commutative, so negative x minus 4 and negative 4 minus x is the same thing. That's why 2x plus y over minus x minus 4 is the final answer. Okay, so that was about the -1 technique. I hope you understood this technique well and you can use it for solving questions.